We're at Captain Jake's in Newburgh, New York, Hudson Valley. Had a great meal with my buddy Zero Mass.
What's up? What's up?
I had the buffalo shrimp. Highly recommend it. Phenomenal. They didn't have the mashed potatoes because it's not dinner time.
And I'm very upset about that.
But you had a good meal. You had sweet
I had
potato
a good
fries.
meal.
Stop.
The burger was great.
Don't be a negative Nancy.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about why I don't believe you should be in law enforcement right now.
And I do.
And he does. I think law enforcement right now is not being taken care of correctly. I think the media has them all messed up. I think they think everybody's a bad cop, which is not true. Everybody's a bad correction officer. Everybody's a bad vice and ICE officer. I just think it's bad right now. I think all the videos that people watch, you're just picking a few bad cops, a few bad law enforcement guys, and then just putting them in a bunch.
Well, listen, it's a bad cop or a bad law enforcement or a bad correction officer. It's a bad person. It's either you're a good person or you're a bad person. Either you're going to do the right thing or you're not going to do the right thing.
I totally agree. There's either you're good or bad. That's how I live my life. There's a scale. There's the gray in the between, but then you have good and bad. If you go more on the good side, you're a good guy. If you're more on the right-hand side, you're a bad guy. It is what it is, almost in anything you do.
Yes. I try to push my daughters, I have 3, to become law enforcement. They're not interested, but I think it's a good job. I think you get a good pension. You work great hours, and you don't have to work for a long time. 20 years is not a long time.
I think it's a bad job because, one, from statistics that I've seen with law enforcement officers, the suicide rates to the roof. I think 20 years of your life and then you're getting treated terrible. You're getting beat down by either where you work, by your administration, by the job itself, and by your customers, which is your customers is either your community or, if you work in prison, the damn inmates or your administration.
Right, but you got to remember, they're getting beat down, but also you have to remember how you take care of yourself. If you eat right, you go to sleep, you do the right thing. I think it's a good career. For 20 years is not a long time.
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
20 years for a pension, then you die right afterwards with a heart attack from all the stress, the anxiety, the worries, and people don't even realize the things that these guys go through. I mean, the post-traumatic stress, the mental health issues, the divorce rate. Granted, if you're an officer and you're a good officer, keep being a good officer.
So let's just say the 20-year thing. Let's just say you're 40 years younger. Let's say you're 30 years old. I'm bad with math now because I can't do it because of what happened. 30 years.
You retire at 50, 55.
You're going to be 50, 55 years old. That's amazing. You can't beat that. Could you imagine working, let's just say a nurse? How long would you have to work as a nurse?
About 30 plus.
To retire, right? 30 plus years. How old are you then?
You're pretty old. But,
you're old. Your life's over.
I go more with life is so short. To do something that there is sometimes no reward. To do something that you may not love no more, and now you're stuck here. If you're already vested 15, 20 years, some dudes retire 25, 30 years in the game. If you're already vested and you have something else you love, I also tell officers to do something else while you're there.
That's right. You're right.
You called it on the physical fitness, the mental health, finding a hobby, but it's tricky.
So tell me, you remember, what was I also doing when I was in corrections and law enforcement? I was also a paramedic. I was doing that. And I loved that job.
You loved that. So you loved it, but once again, another stressful job that has mental health, you've seen heads decapitated?
I've seen, I wouldn't say that, but I've
seen an arm blow off?
I've seen a lot of stuff.
It's tricky times. I just worry, especially with good officers. Are you maintaining your mind? Are you doing
Yeah.
something physical?
Yes.
Are you doing another hobby?
Yes.
Or if you don't have any hobbies, are you being the best father you could be?
Right.
I mean,
And are you sleeping? Are you eating right?
that's a huge one.
That's it.
That's a huge one. A
Yeah.
lot of officers, when I worked in corrections, a lot of officers eat garbage. I have 16-hour shifts. Currently, right now, I just spoke to 3 other officers, and they're mandatory, only 1 day off, mandatory overtime, always stuck. You're going to die fast.
It's true. It's not only
It's the department's
corrections, right?
fault.
It's not only corrections. It's police officers. It's court officers. It's pretty much all law enforcement. You gotta eat right. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta.
I think also the media has that all officers are bad. I don't agree with the media right now. I think the media should start posting things that officers actually do, or your local media praise these officers that are going out of their way to be in their community, officers that are going out of their way doing suicide preventions for other officers, officers that are doing programs to help people. You don't post that. You'll post a video of one officer freaking beating somebody over the head, but then neglect the 100 other officers that are doing good.
Right. That's true.
I mean, it drives me nuts. And I'm not saying, oh my God, officers are amazing. They're just human beings.
Yes.
But it's a tough fucking job. And wait till you see these robot fucking officers. You know they're coming.
They are coming.
At least with a regular officer, I could have a human communication. With a robot, if you're guilty, you're guilty. There's many times I've been guilty of certain things. And as long as I explain, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm driving without this. Hey man, I'm sorry this happened. I cut off the intersection. I was in a rush. I had to go get my kids. You're not going to be able to do that with these new 2040 robots.
You're guilty. You're guilty. You're going. You're going downtown. That's it. You're gonna sit in the pen.
Anyway, so we're at Captain Jake's out in Newburgh. It's another social hub. And great place to come if you're in the Hudson Valley, if you're in Newburgh, New York. Stop by, tell them we sent you. This is Chris from Big Beaks Social Club. This is Robbie, aka Zero Mask, 3 days in a row.
Hold on, I gotta say one thing. Please donate Tunnel to Towers. Please donate Tunnel to Towers.
Robbie was in 9/11, so he's so into the tower donation. I'll put the tower donation in the link in the bottom on the YouTube channel.